right, question number 44 is a lot on the same line of question number 43, and that is, how would Genesis 16:12 bring any comfort to Hagar in regard to her son's future? Okay, so we continue through the story, and so now that Hagar is mistreated, what we see happen is that she leaves. You know, she says, I've had enough, and she takes off running. You might be putting yourself in Hagar's position, and you may be thinking, I would have done a long time ago, but kind of understand that, you know, this really is not a very good idea as far as self-preservation goes. It's not a good idea for Hagar just to take off like that, because if she takes off, you know, it's not like she can move to the city and get a job, okay? I mean, no matter where she goes, if she survives, she's probably going to wind up in the same boat. And whoever finds her, if they find her alive, if they find her and find her pregnant, then they're probably not going to want her to put her back in the same boat that she came from. And so, so for her to flee like this, it really shows a really big act of desperation on her part. And so what happens is that in verse number 7, it says, the angel of the Lord found Hagar near a spring in the desert. It was a spring that was beside the road to Shur. And he said, Hagar, son of servant of Sarai, where have you come from and where are you going? Okay. This question is not for the knowledge of the angel of the Lord. This question is to get Hagar to thinking. Okay. So here Sarai or Hagar leaves. She goes to a well. She's out in the desert, you know, and so she's at least made it to the well so far. Okay. And so here she's at the well, but what's going to happen after that? Okay. So here's the question. Where have you come from and where are you going? Okay, well, you came from a bad situation, but is it any better than what you're in right now? You know, you do have food, you do have shelter, you do have water. What do you got now? You got water, and, you know, aside from that, you probably don't have a whole lot. So where are you going to go from here, right? Well, there really isn't a whole lot of other places to go. And you really can't stay there for any extended period of time. And so what are you really going to do? Well, notice what she says. She says, I am running away from my mistress Sarai, she answered. Then the angel of the Lord told her, go back to your mistress and submit to her. The angel added, I will so increase your descendants that they too will be too numerous to count. And then verse 11, it says, the angel of the Lord also said to her, you are now a child and you will have a son. You shall name him Ishmael, for the Lord has heard of your misery, and he will be a wild donkey of a man, and his hand will be against everyone, and everyone's hand against him, and he will live in hostility towards all his brothers. And so here is the angel of the Lord telling Hagar this. Go back to Sarah. It really is going to be a better place than where you are right now. He doesn't tell her that, but it really is. And notice that he kind of goes on to talk to her and say, you know what, I'm going to bless you. Your descendants also are going to be too numerous to count. Now remember what we've got. We've got Abraham, and we've got what will be the son of promise, Isaac. You know, Ishmael is, you know, to the side. I mean, this was not supposed to happen. This is not part of God's plan, even though God knows about it. And so, you know, it's kind of like, okay, well, if Ishmael is not going to be the son of promise, what's going to happen to Ishmael? What's going to happen to Ishmael is God too is also going to bless him to where he is going to be a father of many nations, just as Isaac is going to be a father of many nations too. Now, no, he's not going to have all the promises that are attached to that covenant, but still, because he is descended from Abraham, this is the way it's going to be. And so if you think about it, that is kind of a little blessing. But the question is, how could verse number 12 bring any comfort to Hagar in regard to Ishmael's future? Because if you look at verse number 12, it says, he'll be a wild donkey of a man. His hand is going to be against everyone. Everyone's hand is going to be against him. He will live in hostility toward all his brothers. And so, it's kind of like here you got this mother, little bitty baby, what's this little bitty baby going to grow up to be? And what's this little bitty baby going to grow up to do? And, oh, he's going to be a wild donkey. He's going to be in fights with everybody. Everybody's going to be in a fight with him. He's just going to be in hostility towards all his brothers from this point forward. That doesn't sound like a very comforting thing, does it?
No.
Unless, of course, you're Hagar, because again, put yourself in Hagar's position. So here's all these things that are happening to Hagar, right? And notice that when she becomes pregnant, what does she do? She begins to despise her mistress. She starts to become a little bit conceited, if you will, a little bit of, Sarah, I'm better than you now because I've got a child and you don't. All right? So if you think about it, Hagar's got just a little bit of moxie to her. She's got a little bit of rebellion to her. She's got a little bit of, hey, I don't mind sticking it to you. That's at least the way that I see it. And so, for her to be told, hey, your son is really going to run with this thing, okay? He's going to be a wild donkey of a man. He's going to be against people. People are going to be against her. You might even think that maybe Hagar at this point is going to be, yes. Maybe, okay? But for the very fact that, that her son is going to be blessed from the Lord, that is going to be a comfort to her. Okay? All right. Anybody got any questions on that one?